कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्।
बने हम इंद के योगी, धरेंगे ध्यान भारत का।
बने हम इंद के योगी, धरेंगे ध्यान भारत का।
बने हम इंद के योगी, धरेंगे ध्यान भारत का। उठाकर धर्म का झंडा करे उत्थान भारत का।
धर्म का झंडा करे उत्थान भारत का।
बने हम हिंद के योगी, धरेंगे ध्यान भारत का।
बने हम हिंद के योगी, धरेंगे ध्यान भारत का।
गले में शील की माला,
गले में शील की माला,
गले में शील की माला।
गले में शील की माला,
पहन कर जान की कफनी,
पहन कर ज्ञान की कफनी।
उठाकर धर्म का झंडा करे उत्थान भारत का।
उठाकर धर्म का झंडा करे उत्थान भारत का।
बने हम हिंद के योगी, धरेंगे ध्यान भारत का।
बने हम हिंद के योगी, करेंगे ध्यान भारत का।
जलाकर कष्ट की होली,
जलाकर कष्ट की होली,
जलाकर कष्ट की होली।
जलाकर कष्ट की होली,
उठाकर इष्ट की झोली,
उठाकर इष्ट की झोली।
जमा कर संत की टोली, करे उत्थान भारत का।
जगा कर संत की डोली, करे उत्थान भारत का।
बने हम हिंद के योगी, धरेंगे ध्यान भारत का।
बने हम हिंद के योगी, करेंगे ध्यान भारत का।
स्वरों में तान भारत की,
स्वरों में तान भारत की,
सरोज रज निज मनु मुकुरु सुधारी बरनऊ रघुबर विमल जसु जोदायकु फलचारी बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीसति हूँ लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मूज जनेऊ साजे शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिवे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिवे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरतई सम भाई सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा जम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सकै कहाते तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर है सब जग जाना जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु लील्योताहि मधुर फल जानू प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माही जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना आपन तेज सम्हारो आपे तीनों लोक हांकते कांपे भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुनावे नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे चारों जुग पर ताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता असवर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाई जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई और देवता चित्तन धरई हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा पवन तनय संकट हरना मंगल मूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुर भूप सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय। श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मनु मुकुरु सुधारी बरनऊ रघुबर विमल जसु जोदायकु फलचारी बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीसति हूँ लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मूज जनेऊ साजे शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सम भाई सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा जम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सकै कहाते तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर है सब जग जाना जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु लील्योताहि मधुर फल जानू प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माही जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना आपन तेज सम्हारो आपे तीनों लोक हाँकते कांपे भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुनावे नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता असवर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाई जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई और देवता चित्तन धरई हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा होय सिद्धि साखी गौरी सा तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा पवन तनय संकट हरन मंगल मूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुर भूप सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय।
सच्चिदानन्दं वासुदेवं व्रजप्रियं धर्मसंस्थापकं वीरं कृष्णं वन्दे Jagadgurum.
Jai Shri Krishna, everybody. Shri Krishna Vande Jagadguru. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. A warm welcome to all the Geeta sadhakas who have joined Geeta Pariwar for learning Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā with proper pronunciation and intonation. We are all indeed blessed to be a part of this divine family, learning Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā, Sarva Shastramayi Geeta. Along with the Geeta recitation classes, the Geeta Vivechan sessions during the weekend help us in understanding the meaning of the shlokas so that we can inculcate the lessons in our lives. And also it helps us in memorizing the shlokas as well. Today we are having the interpretation session of the first part of the 9th Adhyaya of Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā, Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga. As the saying goes, Tena vina trunamapi na chalati. Without the blessings of the Almighty, not even a blade of grass can move. So let us surrender completely to the Almighty and seek the blessings. To do the Arambha Prarthana, we have Shri Ajay Mohanty ji with us. Ajay Bhaiya ji is from Jamshedpur, Jharkhand, and he is very interested in Puja Path and reading. Associated with Geeta Pariwar since February 2023, he has completed level 3 and he is offering Seva as a PA for L1 and L2 batches. I request Ajay Bhaiya ji to do the reciter prayer.
Jai Shri Krishna ji.
Jai Shri Krishna Bhaiya ji. Jai Shri Krishna. Yes.
Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Charuna Mardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishna Bande Jagadguru Sri Krishna Bande Jagadguru. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna, Ajay Bhaiya ji. Thank you so much for the beautiful prayer. Now it is time for the Deepa Prajwalan. Let us ward off the tamas in and around us by doing the lighting the lamp. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. We have Tejal Shroff ji with us. Tejal Didi is from Mumbai. She is an investment and insurance advisor, and her hobbies are reading, swimming, traveling, and baking. A very multi-talented person indeed. Associated with Geeta Pariwar since June 2021, she is doing Seva as a technical assistant for L1. Tejal Didi ji, I request you to perform Deepa Prajwalan. Jai Shri Krishna.
निषिद्धैरप्येभिर्लुलितमकरन्दो मधुकरैः करैरिन्दोरन्तश्छुरित इव सम्भिन्नमुकुलः विधत्तां सिद्धिन्नो नयनसुभगामस्य सदसः प्रकीर्णः पुष्पाणां हरिचरणयोरञ्जलिरयम् शरदिन्दुनिभां शुभ्रवस्त्रैरलङ्कृतां कलहंसकृतावासां वरदां शारदां नुमः.
Thank you, Tejal Didi. It's very nice. It was very nice. We got to see your puja place. Thank you for the puja Deepa Prajwalan. Now, before we take up the Vivechan session, we have two quick announcements. A new L1 batch of Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā online learning program will be starting from June 7, 2024. And Geeta Pariwar has added a special Brahma Muhurta 4 a.m. IST batch as well. And please do share the details with your family and friends interested in learning Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā. You can be a catalyst in their lives to pursue the Geeta sadhana. And also, today is Mohini Ekadashi. It's one of the auspicious occasions. And for this, Geeta Pariwar is having a special recitation and contemplation session of 13, 14, and 15 adhyayas of Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā tonight between 9 and 10 p.m. IST. Please do attend this session. And now it is time for the most anticipated part of the session. Our speaker of the day is Shri Vikas Vaidya ji Bhaiya ji, and he is a multifaceted person. He knows how to balance both worldly and the spiritual aspects. On the worldly side, he is a mechanical engineer, owns an IT company in Pune. He is a globetrotter and a polyglot. when the spiritual aspects are considered, his accomplishments are equally impressive. He is key member of the Geeta Pariwar, offering seva as a trainer for all the 4 levels, and is involved in trainers selection and train the trainers program as well. As a member of Pune's Geeta Pariwar wing, he is playing the key role of a trainer and an interpreter for Vishnu Sahasranama as well. Along with the impeccable seva, he is also a very accomplished person in his own spiritual sadhana. He knows all the 18 adhyayas by heart and has received first prize in Geeta Kanthastha Pariksha from Paramapujya Jagadguru Shankaracharya ji of Shrungeri Math. And Bhayaji recites all the 18 chapters every day, which is he has been doing for the past 5 years. He is a role model indeed for all of us. It is indeed our honor and privilege to welcome Vikas Bhayaji to today's interpretation session on Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga. Vikas Bhayaji, I request you to please conduct the interpretation session and illuminate our minds with your expertise and spiritual aptitude. And over to you, Vikas Bhayaji. Thank you. Jai Shri Krishna.
जय श्री कृष्ण। परम पूज्य स्वामी जी के चरण कमलों में कोटि कोटि नमन। आज से हम नया टुडे विल स्टार्ट न्यू अध्याय, अध्याय 9, which you would have started in your classes already by now. So this adhyay is Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga now. 9th adhyay, adhyay which gives you Rajavidya. Now we will understand in this adhyay what is Rajavidya and what is Rajaguhya. The name of adhyay is Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga. So Rajavidya means knowing the self-conscious, knowing the self, Atma Jnana. Atma Jnana is Rajavidya. And this Atma Vidya is the king of all Vidyas. That's why it is Rajavidya. King of all Vidyas. And it is also the king of all confidentialities. So it is Guhya, Rajaguhya. This Vidya is very, very pious, Pavitra, the best of all, Sarvottam, Dharma Yukta, in line with the scriptures, and imperishable, Avinashi. The most importantly, this Vidya, when we learn, it paves the path for attaining moksha, salvation, liberation, for which we got this human species. So this enables us to understand the Paramatma Tattva in principle. The ultimate truth, that is Paramatma, it helps us to understand that ultimate truth of Paramatma. But this Vidya cannot be learned by people who have no faith. And such people keep rotating in the cycle of birth and death. Shraddha is a big thing. In fact, Paramatma is the creator of this universe. We all know this by now, Learngeeta. And all moving and non-moving, Chara and Achara entities come into being from him, from Paramatma. He is the creator, he is the maintainer, and he is the destroyer. Karta, Dharta, and Harta of this universe, this Srishti. But he still remains unattached and does not get bound by any karma. Now, creating Srishti, maintaining it, and destroying it, there are huge amount of karmas involved in this. But even then, Paramatma doesn't get any bondage of these karmas because he doesn't get attached with any of his karmas. So no karma bondage for Paramatma. Though he is Nirgun, Nirakar, Chaitanya only, but some foolish people consider him as an embodied man like them. Such ignorant, demonic people are tamasi. In contrast, Sattvic devotees focus only on his devotional service, his bhakti, and keep doing his bhajan, pujan, and finally become his ardent, steadfast followers and devotees. See, this is the summary of this adhyaya, what we are discussing now. Now, some people see him as Vasudevam Sarva Iti. That means one in all. Whereas some other people worship him as all in one. Ekatvena and Pruthatvena. One in all and all in one. Now, those who follow Ekatva, that means Paramatma is the only one they are considered superior, Shrestha, because there is only one Chaitanya behind all Charachara entities in this universe, moving, non-moving. So those doing Sakam devotion, those who are doing Sakam devotions, what is the highest reward they may get is the attainment of heavens. This is what our scriptures teaches. But having obtained the heavens, is it the ultimate thing to obtain? Because once their punya sanchay, their deposit of good karmas gets exhausted, because every day that they spent in heaven, everything, all their punya sanchay gets encashed. So when that encashment is complete, their punya sanchay is exhausted, they again have to come back, and then they again get entangled in the cycle of birth and death. But those who single-mindedly focus on Parabrahma, Paramatma, without any kamana in their mind, they attain the moksha, the salvation. Salvation is a place from where no one has to come back again. So they become one with Parabrahma. That is the only Paramgati, Parabrahma, wherein we don't have to come back. We get rid of this birth cycle, birth and death cycle forever. And that is the stage we call attaining Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi. So this Adhyaya teaches us all these techniques. This Vidya, which we are going to learn in this Adhyaya, is of paramount importance for attaining the moksha. Now this Adhyaya will also learn that Paramatma is the ultimate receiver, ultimate enjoyer, Bhokta of all the yajna karmas. And this is very well known to the Jnani, to the wise people, wise devotees, Nishkam Karma Yogis. Whatever Patra, Pushpa, Phala, Jala, that means leaves of the tree, flowers, fruits, or even water, which they offer with devotion, with Shraddha, with Bhakti to Paramatma, Paramatma gladly accepts it. Patram Pushpam Phalanto Yen Yome Bhaktya Prayachati Tadam Bhakti Vardam Ashnami Paredatmana. This shloka we are going to learn in this Adhyaya. So the karma actions of such Jnani devotees automatically get offered to Paramatma. Ishwararpan. All their karmas get Ishwararpan, and offering of karma to Paramatma itself is sannyas, isn't it? Such a yogi, his past could be durachari. He would be the sinnest of all sinners. So this Adhyaya teaches us that even the sinnest of all sinners, irrespective of his past, he can attain Param Shanti if he follows the guidelines given in this Adhyaya. To make the mind and intellect totally devoted to Paramatma, to have deep faith and love for him, to keep offering our devotional service to him, and this way, trying to reunite Atma with Paramatma is Rajavidya. And this Rajavidya we are going to learn from Lord Shri Krishna in this Adhyaya. Paramatma guarantees in this Adhyaya that such a devotee who learns this Vidya, he never will meet any downfall. Kaunteya Pratijanihi Name Bhakta Pranashyati. Pratijani, Paramatma is giving a guarantee that his Bhakta who follows this Vidya, he will never Pranashyati, he will never meet the downfall. So in short, this Adhyaya explains such confidential, secret Raja Vidya, Atma Vidya, Atma Gyan, and that is why this Adhyaya is called Raja Vidya, Raja Guhya Yoga. Now somebody may say that why it is Guhya, secret. Every Gita book is available from Gita Press for 10 rupees in any shop. So what is Guhya in all that? It is available in the books now. Yes, it is available in the books. But how can we grasp by merely reading the books? Can we grasp all the Jnana by just reading the book? Book may cost 10 rupees. You may have billions of rupees with you. Does it mean you have become Jnani? You have to absorb that, what is given in the book, and put it in the practice. That is Atma Jnana. So long as you don't do it, this Vidya remains Guhya, and Raja Vidya only. That is why the name of this Adhyaya is Raja Vidya, Raja Guhya Yogo Nam. Okay, by now, from your earlier Adhyayas of Bhagavad Gita, you would have understood that the importance of love, devotion, and surrender, prem, bhakti, and samarpan. These are crucial for understanding of such a profound text like Bhagavad Gita. Listening or reading without these essential sentiments of prem, bhakti, and samarpan, love, devotion, and surrender, is of no use. If you have no prem, you have no bhakti, and you have no samarpan, then merely reading Bhagavad Gita makes no sense. It is inconsequential. It will not lead to attainment of anything other than perhaps even more bigger ego for you. Mujhe Gita aa gayi hai. I can understand Gita. This will inflate your ego. And that is why, although there are many people on the battlefield of Kurukshetra who would listen very easily to the words spoken by Lord Sri Krishna. He was explaining to Arjuna, he was not whispering in his ears. He was talking to him, no? But it was only Arjuna who got benefited, no one else. Let alone the soldiers and generals on the field, who not Arjuna's brothers, Yudhishthir, Bhima, Nakul, Sahadeva. Did they want to listen to this conversation as to what is going on between Krishna and Arjuna? There were so many individuals who respected and revered Lord Shri Krishna, but no one came forth to understand what Krishna is giving the message to Arjuna on this battlefield. Now this gives rise to another thought. There is a deeper angle to this. The entire dialogue that took place between Sri Krishna and Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra was not an ordinary verbal communication. Words were not being exchanged, but rather it is more than likely that the conversation took place at the level of mind. After all, words are not needed for communicating with the beloved people. Just eyes are enough to express one's feelings. Eyes can express what you want to say. So probably many shlokas, many messages of Bhagavad Gita are merely the expression by Lord Krishna without speaking a word. Maharishi Vedavyas put it in the words for our benefit. But the actual communication between Lord Shri Krishna and Arjuna many times could have been through this expression, feelings only. Thus know that the words will not dispel your ignorance. The words will not dispel your ignorance, will not remove your ignorance. It is the bond of love that enables a devoted listener to understand the essential meaning of Bhagavad Gita, the hidden words of Bhagavad Gita. And it is not only this grace of love which can liberate you from the shackles of attachment and ignorance. It is your love, bhakti and samarpan, prem, bhakti and samarpan. Only those whose hearts are brimming with love will understand Bhagavad Gita. Those who only read Gita and claim that I have understood Gita, they should think twice. And no other who only listens or read Gita just to increase their intellectual knowledge of words. For them, they say that Gita is far away from the reach of such misguided people who just by merely reading Gita start claiming that we know Gita. For them, the Gita is as far as the prana is far away from a dead body. So, understanding Gita, the inherent meaning of words of Paramatma, one has to understand. Merely reading Gita is of not much use. Okay, it helps you to maintain some mental peace and create some kind of sattvic feeling in your mind. But as far as changing your life is concerned, it needs to be understood. Between the lines, the Paramatma's message is to be understood clearly. With this little background, we'll start reading the Adhyaya now. First sloka, Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता अथ नवमोऽध्यायः श्रीभगवानुवाच इदं ते गुह्यतमं प्रवक्ष्याम्यनसूयवे ज्ञानं विज्ञानसहितं यज्ञात्वा मोक्षसे शुभात्. First shloka, idam means this means this knowledge. Te is to you, guhyatamam, the most confidential, not known to every common people. Pravakshami, I'm going to tell you. Anasuyave. Anasuyave is people who are not envious. Jnanam, knowledge. Jnanam is knowledge about the self, about Paramatma. And Vijnanam, knowledge about the samsara, about the universe, is Vijnana. Sahitam, with yat, which Jnatva, knowing, mokshasi, you will get free from ashubhat, from the miserable material existence. That means from the shackles of birth and death. So Paramatma says in this shloka, to you I shall now reveal the greatest secret, the most profound knowledge, which once realized will liberate you from all the miseries of life. Ashubhat. As far as Gita is concerned, the most Ashubha thing, inauspicious thing for human beings is to keep coming in this cycle of birth and death again and again. This is Ashubha. What is Shubha? Shubha is to get rid of this cycle of birth and death. Is Shubha. So Paramatma says, by learning this with this Dhyan and Vigyan, which will be explained in this Adhyay, we will get rid of all Ashubha. See, Arjuna always carried out his duties very, very righteously and faultlessly. He was a Karma Yugi, Arjuna. His mind was blemish-free and flawless. See, our mind has three basic flaws. What are the three flaws? Mala, Vikshepa, and Avaran. What is Mala? Mala refers to the impurities, the dirt, the ego in our Antakaran. What is Antakaran? Antakaran is our mind, our intellect, and our subconscious mind. These three constitute the Antakaran. And any kind of impurity and ego in this Antakaran is the Mala. What is Vikshepa? Vikshepa refers to the mind that is agitated in turmoil and always oscillating. Ye karu ki wo karu ki ye karu. Should I get this or should I get that? Anxiety. And all this anxiety gets generated because of innumerable kamanas in our mind. Avaran means the veil. Veil means the burqa, parda, the veil of ignorance. Now, Arjuna's mind was free from the impurities and ego. As far as this veil of ignorance is concerned, Shri Krishna is imparting knowledge to Arjuna for that very purpose, to lift that veil of ignorance. He had no Mala and no Vikshepa. The two impurities that we have, common people have, Arjuna did not have. But he had that Avarana, the veil of ignorance. And Bhagavad Gita is lifting that veil of Avarana, that ignorance, from Arjuna's mind. And in the process, from our mind as well. So to lift the veil of ignorance shrouding the mind of Arjuna. Now the point to note here is that only because Arjuna's mind was already free of the two flaws of Mala and Vikshepa, that the Lord was imparting this knowledge for increasing or for rather elevating, for removing his ignorance. But had his mind not been full of impurities and agitation, if he had these two doshas also of Mala and Vikshep, Shri Krishna probably would have asked him to do some more sadhana before he gets ready for absorbing this knowledge. But since he was already ready with this, Shri Krishna Bhagavan is lifting the veil of ignorance through his message in Gita. See, a cleansed mind is a prerequisite for attaining the great spiritual heights. And in order to purify the mind, the scriptures advocate performance of Nishkam Karma, Seva, charity, and so on. Only then will you acquire the ability to receive the higher knowledge. Otherwise, all that happens is that the ego gets more and more inflated. By learning few shlokas, few adhyayas of Bhagavad Gita, we start claiming, मुझको तो गीता आ गई अभी, मैं तो बहुत expert हो गया. I can speak on Gita. The person gloats thinking that now I know Gita, without realizing that all he has done is further corrupted his already inflated ego by claiming this, मुझे गीता आ गई. So it's not very easy to learn Gita. You have to read between the lines and understand Paramatma's message. Now to attain Brahma Gyan by following the earlier teachings of Gita up to this adhyaya, I mean, which we will learn in next level, L3, L4. Paramatma has taught in earlier adhyayas about Brahma Gyan and how to obtain it. But to attain Brahma Gyan by following the path of Samadhi, the epitome of meditation, is quite difficult for common people like us. Now, understanding this predicament, this problem of common people, Shri Krishna Bhagavan is now showing a different path, but simpler path for attaining that Akshara Parabrahma. This is a Rajmarga, also known as Bhakti Marga. This path is a part of Gyan, that means Brahma Gyan, Atma Gyan, and Vidyan, that means the knowledge about the Asat universe, about the Samsara. Therefore, Shri Krishna Bhagavan says, the most secret Gyan with Vidyan. Now I will give you, which will cleanse you of your sins and liberate you, will give you moksha, free, will make you free from the shackles of birth and death. It is called Ashubh. And I give you this knowledge because you are free from envy, you are anasuyave. Here the word anasuyave is very, very important. Only those who are free from envy, matsar rahit, they have the right to acquire this knowledge. You see, to become sad when somebody is sad is not so difficult. Somebody has a death in his family, we go and then we share his grief. Not so difficult. बहुत बुरा हो गया, अचानक हो गया, सब हो गया. We are genuinely sad about it. But to get happy with somebody's happiness is very difficult. If somebody invites you that he bought a new car or he got a new bungalow and he invites you for a party, you go to his place, show a smile on your face, but in the heart of heart, you are being envious. There is a sort of asuya. A small story about asuya. There was a poor Brahmin. His family used to be hungry every day. They had nothing to eat. No money, nothing to eat. So he got frustrated. He went to the forest and he did sadhana, meditation for the Vanadevi, the goddess of forest. After a few days, the goddess of forest was pleased with his sadhana and she said, okay, you ask whatever you want. And he said, we have nothing to eat. Can you give us something which will make us happy to eat for the whole of our life? Vanadeva said, okay, take this utensil, this patra, Akshay Patra. Take it. You wish whatever you want to eat and it will keep providing you in abundance. Unlimited quantity of whatever you want to eat. You just express the desire. The fellow was very happy. He came back home. Then he collected all family members and they said, "Mujhe ye chahiye, wo chahiye." Everything was available. Everybody in the family was pleased. So every day, morning, evening, they used to collect together, wish something to eat, and they used to get that in abundance. Very happy. So all those people who were earlier very thin, they started putting on weight. Became very happy. That a neighbor who saw all these people getting more and more fat day by day, getting more and more happy, he got envious. And he came to know that he has got some magical utensil which is providing him this food. So one night he stole that Akshay Patra from that Brahmana's family. The Brahmana next day morning when he woke up, he saw that Akshay Patra was stolen. Then he again went crying to that Vanadevi. Then Vanadevi helped him to get back all that. That is a different part of the story. But the point is envy. People's happiness, one should be able to enjoy with the same as you are sharing their grief. In short, if you want to imbibe the message given by Shri Krishna Bhagavan in this adhyay, the first requisite is to become envy-free, anasuyave. There is another story about it. Maharshi Vyas had given a vrat to Pandu and Kunti. That vrat was called Shubha Vrat. So he asked, Maharshi Vyas asked Kunti and Pandu that for one full year, you have to speak all Shubha only. No Ashubha. No Ashubha to be spoken, all Shubha. No finding faults, no criticism, no sarcastic comments, no envy, nothing. All Shubha. If the mind and intellect is trained to follow this as a vrat, as a habit, then it starts becoming our innate nature. So all these vratas that we follow are for this purpose, that they should become a part of our innate nature. Now, following this vrat for a year, Kunti gave birth to Arjuna, who got these sanskars of Shubha Vrata right when he was in the womb of his mother. Arjuna never passed any bad comments, never criticized others. He never spoke about himself. If someone used to praise him, he would just get up from the place and leave that place. He was not even interested in listening his own praise. If our life is such asuya rahit, anasuyave, Paramatma guarantees that all of us will get free from the ashubha, that means from the cycle of birth and death. With this knowledge, which we are learning in Adhyaya 9, Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga. That does not mean that person with this knowledge will not die. Of course, he will die. But the fear about the death goes away. His vision broadens and he starts looking at death as a life of display of life and death. So death does not scare him anymore. He considers it death as an essential part of life. So this message we are going to learn in this adhyay. So let us proceed on to the second shloka. Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitramidamuttamam Pratyakshavagamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartum Avyayam. Rajavidya. We have learned what is Rajavidya. So the king of education, king of wisdom, king of knowledge. Rajaguhyam, the king of confidentiality. Pavitram, the purest. Idam is this. Uttamam, the best, supreme. Pratyaksha is by direct experience. Avagamam, to understand. Dharmyam, following the principles of dharma, religion. Susukam, very, very happy. Kartum, to perform, to execute. Avyayam means imperishable, everlasting. So Paramatma says in this shloka that Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitramidamuttamam Pratyakshavagamam Dharmyam Susugam Kartum Avyayam. This knowledge is of sovereign of all knowledge, king of all that is mysterious. It is the purest of pure, the epitome of dharma, and directly leads to the result. You don't have to wait for result. It directly gives the result. It is joyous, easy to perform, and is imperishable. Now this knowledge which is most supreme, most confidential and most powerful is received only by those who are immersed in love. Others get only the words. And remember, words are inconsequential. It is the understanding of their inherent meaning that is truly valuable. A small story again. There was a rich merchant. He died leaving his wealth to his sons. He had 3 sons, very, very rich person. He had 3 sons. His will stated the location of the treasure that he had hidden away when he was alive. The sons started reading the instructions in the will, which stated, you will find the treasure hidden in the temple dome on a full moon night. Now this temple had been built by their ancestors, and all villagers used to worship at that temple. Therefore, the sons were very hesitant how to demolish the dome of this temple. all the villagers come here for offering their prayers. How can we demolish the dome of this temple? But soon they ran out of money, and then they put all the ambiguity of their thoughts aside, and then they demolished the dome of the temple. But there was nothing in the dome. Dome was empty. So not only did they get the treasure, but they ended up getting the wrath, the anger of all villagers, and villagers boycotted them socially, saying that you destroyed our dome, temple, we boycott you socially now. And thus, they kept wandering in dire poverty. Nobody kept any contact with them, no relations with them. A year later, the father's friend came to them to see them, and he was shocked to see their very, very poor condition. He thought they had already squandered a lot of treasure from their father. But to his surprise, he found that they were living in a very, very poor condition. So he was shocked to see them in this condition. After listening to their story, he asked them to bring the will. And then he started reading the same will. And on reading, he fired those sons, saying that you have misunderstood the will. It clearly stated that the treasure would be obtained on a full moon night, whereas the boys had overlooked this crucial detail. So he asked them to rebuild the dome, which was empty, no treasure in that. They rebuilt the dome, and when that was completed, they all gathered by the temple side on a full moon night. The full moon light was shining on the dome, which was not having any treasure, but the reflected light fell on a particular spot on the ground. The man, the father's friend, he asked them to dig up at that very spot, and as expected, they found a big treasure on that spot. So merely reading the will, they demolished the dome without understanding what was the message. Just listening or reading the set of words is of no use until you actually understand what it means. The fate of those with an impure mind, full of mala and vikshep, will be similar to that of these three foolish sons. As the saying goes, little knowledge is indeed a dangerous thing. So let us have good knowledge about Bhagavad Gita to absorb the message in our day-to-day life. So this is how it goes. Now let us proceed on to the third shloka. Third shloka, Paramatma says, Ashraddhana Purusha Dharmasya Parantapa Aprapyaman Nivaratante Mrityu Samsara Vartmani. Paramatma says, those who do not have Shraddha, no faith, for this dharma, they have no Shraddha, they return to the world after death to take rebirth, and they do not attain me. They again go back. If Shraddha, that means faith and devotion, is a key factor, very, very important. People without Shraddha cannot succeed in attaining God. Despite prayers, you can sing as many bhajans as you want. You can do as much of Nama Japa as you want. But if you have no Shraddha, you cannot attain that. Last week we were short of time, so we could not discuss about Shraddha in details. So this is an opportunity to tell you one story about Shraddha. There was a poor villager. He had a thought in his mind that I should attain some siddhi, which will make me much different than the others. I should be able to do some magical thing with that siddhi. He was mad after obtaining some siddhi. So he went to one guru. That guru was actually not a guru. He used to cheat people. He was a fraud. But this fellow somehow fell in trap with him. And then he went to him. He said, Guruji, I want to learn some siddhi. Can you teach me siddhi? That guru was a fraud. He said, you have to give me seva for 12 years. Then you will get the sadhana. So this fellow was very happy. He said, okay, 12 years, I will do complete sadhana of this guru. He had deep faith in that fraud guru. If people used to criticize him, he used to take fight with them. No, he's my guru. Don't say any bad word about him. He's my guru. So he had deep faith in his guru. He never had a thought that my guru could be doing something wrong. He could be lying. No, he had no such thought in his mind. He had deep shraddha, deep faith and devotion in his guru. 12 years passed. Then this villager said to Swamiji that, Guru, 12 years have passed. Will you teach me the Siddhi now? The Guru said, you have served me for 12 years. Now you already got the Siddhi. Oh, really? I got the Siddhi? Yes. Can I walk on the water? Oh, of course, yes, you can walk on the water. Really? Yes, you can walk on the water. So this villager, believing deeply in his Guru's words, he went to the river in the village. The Guru also followed him. Villagers followed him. He put his foot on the river water. Second foot, third foot, and he started walking on the water. He crossed the river, came back again, touched the feet of his Guru, saying that, Guru, आपने मुझे सिद्धि दिखा दिया, सिद्धि सिखा दिया, आपको वंदन करता हूँ, प्रणाम करता हूँ. So his Guru, he was also shocked. He said, I did not do anything, and this fellow could easily walk on the water. Just because he offered me some seva, I am his Guru, I should be able to do the same. So he said, okay, I will show you now how to walk on the water. Okay, see it now. So this Guru, he put his foot on the water, and you can imagine what happened. He drowned. He had no shraddha on Paramatma. While this fellow villager, he had deep shraddha in his Guru. The Guru was fraud, okay. But shraddha played the magic. Shraddha can do magic. And this adhyay, if one has to understand, we should have shraddha, faith and devotion. Shraddha should be for Guru. And then the sadhana is to be performed with shraddha. Single-pointed shraddha is the means to burn the seeds of our kamana, our desires in the mind. Dharma here means to realize that the soul is oneself. Soul is that we really are. Soul is our dharma. Body and material possessions is all adharma. Our soul is dharma. Body and material possessions are all adharma. Self is dharma. It is only the pure mind which can develop the capability to see or experience the God. This purity is acquired by burning the inner layers of our subconscious mind. See, our subconscious mind is filled with countless kamanas, countless desires, countless dirt accumulated through countless births that we have taken so far. Everything is getting deposited in our subconscious mind. So if we have to learn this adhyay, then what we need to do is we have to cleanse our antakaran, our subconscious, of all the dirt that we have accumulated for all these years. So let us move on to slok number 4. Maya tadamidam sarvai jagadavyaktamurtina masthani sarva bhutani nachahanteshvavastitaha. Maya means by me. Tatam is to occupy, to pervade. Idam is this. Sarvam, all. Jagat is universe, samsar. Avyaktamurtina, by the unmanifested form. Avyakta. Masthani in me. Sarva bhutani, all living entities. Aham is I. Teshu in them. Avasthita is situated. So Paramatma says in this shloka, Maya tadadam sarvam jagada vyaktamurtina masthani sarva bhutani na chahan teshvavastitaha. The entire perceptible universe is pervaded, occupied by me. That is by the Supreme Parabrahma. Shri Krishna is not speaking from his personal capacity, which is who is sitting in front of Arjuna. He is a Parabrahma also. So he is not talking as an individual Shri Krishna, he is talking from the cosmic level, that I have occupied this entire universe. It is all pervaded by me. I am the underlying support, foundation of this universe. All beings exist in me, but I don't exist in them. Mastani sarvabhutani na chahantesh vyavastitah. So this may appear to be little contradictory, that I appear in them, but they are not in me, something like that. So what does it all mean? Paramatma says that they all exist in me, but I am not in them. See, Paramatma, if he existed in all of us, we are going to perish one day. So Paramatma will also perish. Does he perish? We die. Will Paramatma die? No. So that means what Paramatma says is true, that all beings exist in me, but I don't exist in them. If he existed in us, with us he would also die. But Paramatma never dies, no? So that means what Paramatma said in this shloka is factual. The Lord says the Tattva, the ultimate truth, is my essence. And this is the unmanifested, intangible, eternal, indivisible Parabrahma. As that Tattva, I am the base, I am the foundation of the entire manifested universe, samsara. Just as water is the base of the ice. Can you imagine ice without water? See, although the core essence of ice is water, the core essence of ice is water, isn't it? But they differ in their physical properties. Water is liquid, and if it is thrown at someone, it will wet the person's clothes and body. But if you throw ice at somebody, it will hurt person's body. So analogous to block of ice floating in the river, this manifest world is the ice floating on the river of Parabrahma. Ice is water, but contrary to water, it has a form and also differs with respect to the physical properties of water and ice. Likewise, the world is a manifest form of Parabrahma, but the characteristics, qualities are different. It has its own properties, physical and material, at physical and material plane. So Paramatma says that I exist in them, but they don't exist in, they exist in me, but I don't exist in them. In the next shloka, another different thing Paramatma is going to say. Shloka number 5, Paramatma says, Nachamastani bhutani pashyame yogamaishwaram bhuta brunnaja bhutastho matma bhuta bhavanaha. Now here Paramatma is saying something different. You may think that in one shloka he said something, now he is saying something different. So Nachamastani bhutani, Masthani situated in me, bhutani, all creations of this universe. That means just see. Yogam Aishwaram, the mystic yogic power of Paramatma. Bhuta Bhuta, the maintainer of all living entities. Bhuta is to maintain. Bhutastha, in the universe. Mama, my, Atma, self. Bhuta Bhavana, the source of or the creator of all manifestation in this universe. Bhuta Bhavana. So all in all, Paramatma says that Nachavastani bhutani pashyame yogameshwaram bhuta brunnaja bhutasto mamatma bhuta bhavana. Nor do the things exist in me. Earlier shloka says they exist in me, but I don't exist in them. Now here Paramatma says, nor do things exist in me. So we may think this is contrary to what Paramatma said in the earlier shloka. It is not. We have to understand it from this level, that if we all existed in Paramatma, we would have become imperishable like Paramatma. Paramatma never dies. So we also would never die. But does it happen? We are perishable. So what Paramatma says in this shloka, which may appear contrary, is also true. So both are truths. I don't exist in them is true, and they don't exist in me is also true. If we existed in Paramatma, we would become imperishable like him. But are we? That's why Paramatma says, see my divine Yoga Maya. Pashyami Yoga Maishwaram. Such that although the sustainer and maintainer of this universe and the protector of all beings, the source of all elements, the self is not established in them. I am not in them. See, the creation, sustenance and dissolution of elements, this is all happening through Prakriti. Paramatma says, I am not doing it. It is happening through Prakriti. And Prakriti is functioning by the support of Purush, by the support of Ishwar, Paramatma only. To explain it a little better, let us say that how real a dream appears to the dreamer. The dreamer never doubts the authenticity of all that he is experiencing in the dream. He thinks everything happening in the dream is real. And the moment a doubt arises, the dream is over. The entire dream world emanates from the mind. If there is no mind, no dream. But the mind itself is not in the dream. Is the mind there in the dream world? Mind is not there. Other mind would say, oh, what are you saying? This is all hoax. So mind is not in the dream. But the dream is coming because of mind, because of existence of mind. The moment the dream disappears, the elements of dream world dissolve back in the mind. In the mind, we remember what we have seen in the dream. But is it real? It was a dream, and it remains to be a dream only. But it happened, the dream came because of the existence of your mind. Now, were you to dissect the mind, can you find the elements of any dream in the layers of your mind? Is not it surprising that the elements constituting the dream world, although they appear to emanate from the mind, do not actually exist in the mind? The dream appeared because of mind, but the dream is not in the mind. Even if you dissection of mind, in the layers of mind, you will not find that dream things happening in the mind. So this is all Maya, Paramatma. Another story. There are two good friends. They met up in the morning. One excitedly related the wonderful dream that he had the earlier night. He had dreamed that he was sitting with a famous actress. I enjoyed evening with the actress. I was sitting with him. I had a good party with her. The other fellow, he was very, very envious of him. He approached him and he said, what? Why he did not bother to call me? In the dream. Another story. There was one person. He was very hard up for the cash. He had no money. Thus he went to the bed thinking about money. I have no money, like that. In his dream, he saw the God offering him 1,000 rupees. Because he was thinking of money while going to the bed. So the dream came about the money, God offering him 1,000 rupees. Now, as a normal human being, as we are, he started negotiating with the God. God, now that you have come all the way to me, why 1,000 only? Give me 10,000. God said, take 1,000. No, God, please. If not 10,000, give me 9,000. Okay, 8,000. Okay, let us final for 7,000. 7,000 you give me, please. God. Settle for 7,000 and I will go. That is what he said in the dream. At that very moment, he woke up. But continuing the same spirit, he looked towards the sky and he said, Jane to bhai mere 1,000 rupees mil gaya bhi bahut hai. Even if I get 1,000, I will be thankful to the God. Now, will he really get 1,000 rupees, which he was getting from God in the dream only? But in reality, is he going to get even 1,000 rupees? Moreover, even if he did get 1,000 rupees bucks in the dream, if God would have given him 1,000 rupees in the dream, would they have been of any use to him when he woke up? See, the dream world emanates from the mind, does not exist in the mind. What's more, one who sees the dream, that witness to, is not in the mind. That I who is dreaming, that also is not in the mind. But nevertheless, the very foundation for the existence of dream is the mind. So Atma, Parabrahma is the source of this entire game, yet it is always outside the game. This game we are playing because of their existence, but they are not in the game. So both the shlokas what Paramatma says are factual. He is not in us and we are not in him. But at the same time, our existence is because of him. That is the meaning of these two shlokas. Let us proceed on to slok number 6 now. So slok number 6, Paramatma says, Yatha akashasthito nityam vayus sarvatra go mahan तथा सर्वाणि भूतानि मस्थानि इत्युपधारय. Yatha, just as akashasthita, situated in the sky, nityam, always, vayu, vayu is wind, sarvatra, blowing, going everywhere, mahan, great, tatha, similarly, sarva bhutani, all created entities, all created beings, matsthani, situated in me, iti, thus, upadharaya, which try to understand. So all in all, this means just like the mighty wind is all pervasive in the akash, in the space, and moving in the akash, in the space, it rests in the space only. Similarly, all beings emanate from me and they rest in me. So the example is given of the wind in the sky. See, the impossibility of existence of universe without God is being explained here by Lord Shri Krishna. There is nothing in the universe which is without God or without His grace. Yet, God is not affected by the world as the sky is not affected by the wind. The wind blows here or there or wind stops. Nothing happens to the sky. Sky remains totally unattached, unaffected by it. So Akash is one of the bhutas, Panchama bhutas. Akash is one bhuta. The basic 5 elements. Its distinctive feature is that unlike the other 4 bhutas, which are interdependent and produce the visible, tangible Prakriti with the mutual and common efforts, Akash always remains unaffected by the rest of these 4 elements, these 4 bhutas. Akash only contributes, but thus does not receive anything. It remains unattached. Rest all 4 bhutas, they remain attached. It is for this reason that Lord is citing the example that even though all beings rest in Him, He is not affected by them. And the example is given of the wind in the space, in the sky. The central idea is just as wind or air element cannot exist without the all-pervading Akash, space. Similarly, no beings of the universe can exist without the all-pervading God who is dependent on them. So we all are dependent on the God and we cannot exist without God. God is all-pervading, like the wind cannot exist without space or sky. Similarly, we cannot exist without the God. 7th shloka. Sarvabhutani kaunteya prakritim yanti mamikam kalpakshaye punastani kalpadau visrujamyaham. Sarvabhutani, all created entities. All created entities. Kaunteya. Kaunteya is Kunti Putra Arjuna. Prakriti. Prakriti is nature. We know it very well now. Prakriti is nature. Yanti, to enter. Mamikam, my. Kalpakshaye, at the end of millennium. Yuga. Puna, again. Tani, all those. Kalpa Adau. Adau is the beginning. Kalpado, the beginning of millennium. Beginning of Yuga. Visrujami, to create. Aham is I. So Paramatma says in this shloka that at the end of Kalpa, that means at the end of millennium, at the end of Yuga, at the end of, that means at the time of Mahapralaya, when the Yuga ends, all beings get absorbed in my Maya, in my Moola Prakriti. At the time of next Srishti, that means when Mahasarga, Kalpadau, when Uday of next Kalpa starts, I create them again. See, a Kalpa is equal to 1 day of Brahmadev, which is equal to 1000 Chaturyugas. When you learn 8th Adhyay, you will know about this calendar of Srishti. So now you multiply that 1 Chaturyuga. 1 Chaturyuga is equal to total age of 4 yugas. 4 yugas are Kali Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Satya Yuga. At the time of at this time of scale of Mahapralay, it takes place after 100 years of Brahmaji. Now this 1000 Chaturyuga is making 1 day of Brahmadeva, and this is around 4.5 crores years of human life. So around 9 crores years constitute 1 day of Brahma. And likewise, Brahmaji's age is 100 years. So all beings go back to Mool Prakriti, Parabrahma, after 100 years of Brahmadev, and Mahasarga takes place. All beings, according to their karmas, are reborn. Karmas will never leave you. Whether it is Kalpadu or Kalpakshay, karmas never leave you. Now, the question here that may come to our mind is that if we are all going to meet Parabrahma at the end of Kalpakshaya, then why this sadhana we are doing? What is the point in doing all this sadhana? Whether we attain Jnana or not, whether you attain Samadhi or not, at the end of Kalpa, all beings will dissolve, merge into Parabrahma. So some of us may bother, some of us may think that why bother going through all difficult spiritual practices of Bhakti Yoga and Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga and all that. Ultimately, at the end of Kalpa, we are going to get merged with the Parabrahma only. See, 1000, as I said, 1000 quarters of 4 yugas, 4 millenniums, equal to Brahma's 1 day. And as we will discuss in the 8th chapter sometime later, when you go to L4, a similar period equates to Brahma's night. And in this way, Brahmaji, Brahmadev lives for 100 years. And when Brahmadev completes 100 such years, that is equal to Bhagavan Vishnu's 1 second. What is more, when Vishnu Bhagavan completes 1000 such years, that equates to Lord Shiva's 1 second. And when Lord Shiva completes a similar time, then that completes 1 kalpa. So, the game is being played for a mind-boggling, immeasurable period of time. That is why only people with little intelligence, that means people who are fools, will be contented with the notion that at the end of a kalp, all will dissolve in Parabrahma, and thus not bother in sadhana. The wise, however, will genuinely be alarmed by the prospect of having to live in the misery-prone world for such a long time. Immeasurable time. And the path of awakening is meant for such wise ones. That is why that which will happen at the end of an immeasurable span of time can be attained in this very lifetime. What will take billions and billions of years, if Paramatma has given you a chance to obtain it in this lifetime, why not to try for it? Why keep rotting in this world for billions and billions of years, waiting for Kalpakshaya to happen? So thus understand that what Lord means when he says all beings will merge with me at the end of Kalpa, but what happens after that Kalpakshaya? Well, the story doesn't end there. The movie goes on. But this is not the end of story. When all that happens, what happens next is the story. Lord says, I will recreate this world. Now this means that you don't eradicate your ignorance in this very lifetime, then not only will you keep on suffering the dualities of material existence for the entire duration of this kalpa, which is billions and billions of years, but when the new kalpa begins, you will be again gripped by the delusion of ignorance. So the story continues even if the kalpa ends and new kalpa starts. Because your karmas are always with you. So you keep suffering from the lashes of attachment and aversion even when the kalpa happens. Now this is what is known as never-ending cycle of samsara. Seed, they sprouts into the crop. That is, the food is essential for the production of sperm and ova, which in turn leads to the formation of new body. And when the new body, when that body dies, the residual dust, the ash that remains, gets mixed with the soil, which is in turn nourishes the seeds to produce the new crop, that is the food. So this is the Srishti cycle that keeps going on. So irrespective of whether kalpa kshaya or kalpadau, we should continue our sadhana without depending that at the end of kalpa, in any case, I am going to get merged with Parabrahma. So why not wait for that? But billions and billions of years of life you will have to wait, and even at the end, your karmas are going to leave you. When the world is recreated by Paramatma, we will be again reborn with those same ignorance, same attachments with which we have lived in this kalpa. So nothing leaves us. Let us go on to next sloka quickly. Sloka number 8. Prakritim swama vashtabhya visrujami punah punah bhutagramimam krishnam avasham prakritir vashat. Prakritim swama vashtabhya. Prakriti is the nature. We know it very well now. Swama of my personal self. Swama. Paramatma says swam is him, his personal self. Avashtabhya. Entering into. Visrujami. Creating. Punah punah. Again and again. Bhutagramam. All universal creations. They are called groups. Bhutagramam. Imam. These. Krishnam. Krishnam is total. Nothing to do with Krishna. Krishnam is total, complete. Avasham, quickly, automatically. Prakriti, by the force of the compulsion of nature. Vashata, under obligation. So Paramatma says, Prakriti swama vashtabhya visarjami punakmana. Sarvabhutani kaunteya prakriti myanti mamikam kalpakshe punastani kalpada visarjamiham. And in this sloka, Paramatma says, Prakriti swama vashtabhya visarjami punah Bhutagramam Krishnam Avasham Prakrtir Vashat. By activating the Prakriti, that is Paramatma's Maya, through my mystic power, Yoga Aishwaryam, we read that in earlier sloka, I create these multitudes of time after time, again and again, who are helpless under the power of my Maya. We are truly helpless. The Srishti cycle keeps going on, and we cannot change a bit in that cycle. We cannot do anything. We are totally helpless, honestly. So God being complete in all respects and wanting and needing nothing, He does not get attached to or affected by the Prakriti. But He creates all nature and all beings through His Maya, which is activated by His mere presence. We saw it in the earlier slokas also. And performs His creation's preservation and destruction role by mere presence. Beings have no control over Paramatma's Maya. They are helpless because they themselves are a part of Maya. It is because of this reason that Prakriti or Maya, in fact, is being unreal appearance to the real due to this Yoga Maya. What is real and what is unreal? Due to this Yoga Maya. A question may arise that if the God is being actionless, how and why does He use Prakriti to create the universe? The answer is that the beings, that means all of us, all the living and non-living entities, as long as they are not God realized, we have not realized the God so far. So entities like us are nothing but Prakriti. In fact, Maya and Prakriti is the other name of beings and the universe. God does not create. God does nothing to create the beings. They are there due to their inescapable karmas. It is a self-activating, self-propelling karma-phala-based process in which even Paramatma does not interfere. Whether it is kalpakshaya or kalpadau, new kalpa, end of old kalpa, our karmas will never leave us. Even in the next kalpa, karma will be chasing us. So this operates due to the mere presence of Parabrahma. It does not do anything, but it appears, it keeps happening millenniums after millenniums just because of existence, presence of Parabrahma. Next sloka, sloka number 9. Paramatma says, Najmantani karmani nibadnanti dhananjaya udasinam saktanteshu karmasu. Now here Paramatma is giving another story saying that no, never, tani, all those, karmani, karma, nibadnanti. Nibadnanti is to bind. Dhananjaya is calling for Arjuna, we know it now. Udasinavat, neutral. Udasin means not udasi, udas. Udasin means neutral. Asinam, situated. Asaktam, without attachment, without attraction. Teshu, for those. Karmasu, karmasu is karma, our activities, our karmas that we do. Now Paramatma says here that Dhananjaya, these acts do not bind me. They don't put bandhan on me. I am indifferent to these acts and I am detached. Paramatma creates universe, maintains it, destroys it, but he is not attached with it. This is to set at rest the issue that God, despite animating Prakriti, which is performing these innumerable acts, how and why these acts do not bind him. God says he is indifferent and detached. Then how can action bind him? So the lesson to us is, keep performing your kartavya karma, your prescribed duties, without getting attached. Shri Krishna Bhagavan is our best example. He lived in Vrindavana, he was the best son of Yashoda, he was the best lover of Radha, he was the best friend of all gopis and gopikas. But when he left Vrindavana, he never went back there. He went to Mathura, he went to Hastinapur, he went to Kurukshetra, he went to Dwarka, many places. He never went back to Vrindavana. The distance between Vrindavan and Mathura is only 16 kilometers. But even then he did not go back there. Once he was there, he was an ideal son, he was an ideal lover, he was an ideal friend, everything. But once left, no attachment. So the lesson to us is this only. If we have to get unbondage of our karmas, do those without attachment. That means not to ignore our kartavya karma. Husband should take care of the wife and family and all that. That keeps on happening. That should happen, but without attachment. Like Shri Krishna. So Paramatma is indifferent and detached. Then how can action bind him? Because the binding cord is the desire, which is not in the God. God is not even bothered because Prakriti is performing the act. God is above the ego. Ego and desire being the binding cause, both are binding causes, ego and desire. So they do not bind God because God does not have ego, does not have desire. If the sadhak has to become God-like, he is to rise above the breath cord. Because breathing, the vehicle of prana energy, is at the root of man's trouble. Breathing or prana vibrates with his mind, sense, body apparatus of the man and the man outwards. Orientation binds him with the desire-based world. So desire, kamana is the main cause of everything. Paramatma has named kamana as enemy number 1. Thus the vicious circle starts, kamana, getting bounded, karma you do the karma, but get bondage with the karma, again get the birth, again death, again birth, again death. So to get bondage free, we have to learn from this shloka. God is detached, indifferent, and unconcerned with the fruits or results, because binding factor is motive or desire, which God does not have. God's role in Prakriti or Prakriti's operation is nothing more than that of rain, which irrigates all trees equally, but the taste of different fruits is different. Rain doesn't say that mango you become sweet, Karela you become bitter, something like that. Rain, it impartially irrigates all the trees, all the crops, but they have their independent taste. So Paramatma's existence is there, but we all have the freedom to do our own karmas. If we want to get bondage free, then learn from Paramatma to do all our karmas without any desire, any attachment. No karma phala desire, no return reward expectation. Okay, let us move on to slok number 10. Maya adhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam hetunanena kaunteya jagadvir parivartate. This is the last shloka we will take today. After that, we will take the remaining shlokas in the next session. So here Paramatma says that Maya adhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam hetunanena kaunteya jagadvir parivartate. Maya, by me, adhyakshena, under my supervision, my superintendence, prakriti, the nature, suyate, suyate is to get manifested, to get created, characharam, chara achara, moving and non-moving, hetuna, for reason, anena, this, kaunteya, this Kuntiputra, that means Arjuna, jagat, jagat is universe, this samsara, this world, viparivartate is working. So Paramatma says in this shloka, Maya Dhyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam Hetunanena Kaunteya Jagadve Parivartate. O son of Kunti, Kaunteya, the Prakriti creates the entire universe due to my proximity, my existence, my proximity, my sheer presence. It is due to my Maya that Jagat, that means this universe, animate and inanimate, is produced again and again. Chara and achar get produced again and again. So God is explaining that Prakriti can create this universe only due to his proximity, not his involvement, not his attachment, not his desire, not his kamana, but only because of his proximity. The creative power lies in the proximity of the God, who is the real source of this universe. Prakriti is merely a machine. Paramatma is like the electricity running that machine. Electricity comes to our house. It operates various equipments, fridge, AC, fan, everything. The electricity is not bothered where it is used. It is the machine that functions, no? So Paramatma is the Chaitanya that operates the Prakriti. It is the Prakriti that uses that Chaitanya for its different purposes. So Prakriti is merely a machine, but an unlighted person, they don't realize that Prakriti is merely a machine. They being part of Prakriti, they think themselves that they are doing all these things. They forget about the Chaitanya, the Paramatma. Therefore, they fall prey to their ego, that I am the doer, I am doing this. What is above this ego? Because he is above Prakriti. Ego is a attribute of Prakriti. Paramatma is above Prakriti, so he is not having that ego. He is above the ego. Prakriti, therefore he never gets affected by any karma. Millenniums after millenniums, this unending game of Prakriti keeps going on and on, involving evolution, maintenance, and dissolution goes on, and beings due to their delusion and karmas are merely helpless. They keep getting born and reborn. That's why Bhagavad-Gītā teaches us why you become so helpless. I am showing you a way of getting rid of all this helplessness, get rid of the cycle of birth and death. We don't wait till Kalpakshaya. Even after Kalpakshaya, Kalpasarga will happen, and your karmas Your attachments are not going to leave you. So why not to leave all that in this life only? But it is recommended, it should be remembered that, as mentioned earlier, that God may be indirect or inactive cause to create nature through his Maya, but he is not involved in it, not affected by it. This underlines the point that there is no relationship between action and detachment. That means you can take the action without attachment. Remaining detached, you can take the action. It's not necessary that for taking action you have to have some attachment. Detached mind can create the action. Paramatma is creating the world, the universe, the beings without attachment. If God's presence is not there in this universe, that means his power is not there. No Prakriti can act. It acts only in the proximity of God. Even though God is inactive and detached, he does not do this for his benefit. That means he has no attachment there. So the lesson to us is also this, that keep performing your prescribed duties, your kartavya karma, but without attachment, without expecting any return reward, and without having any kartritva abhiman, the pride over your doership. I have done it. If we copy these attributes of Paramatma in our day-to-day life, we become like Paramatma. We and he becomes one, isn't it? So we stop here with this shloka. The remaining shlokas we'll take in the next session. Thank you so much for listening to me. I know you may have many questions about this adhyay. It's slightly difficult adhyay to understand. Raja Vidya Raja Gurjo, the name itself signifies that. So if you have any questions, feel free to raise your questions. I will try my best to answer your questions. Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you so much, Vikas Bhayaji. That was a very, very interesting session. You made it so interesting and relatable through the stories as well. You gave us the gist of the adhyaya at the very beginning and highlighting, the three doshas, Mala, Vikshepa, and Avarana, that hinder our spiritual sadhana, and how to get rid of those doshas through karma yoga and the spiritual studies, and how to remain detached while playing different roles as our life actually asks us to do, and also highlighting the importance of actually inculcating the lessons of the Gita in our life instead of just reading the Gita, which is just a beginning of the sadhana. Thank you, Bhayaji. That was very, very helpful. And now, before we take the question and answers session, just a quick announcement. A new L1 batch will be starting from June 7th, 2024. Geeta Pariwar has added a special batch, Brahma Muhurta batch at 4 a.m. IST time slot as well. And please do share the details with your family and friends interested in learning the Gita, and you can be a positive catalyst in putting them on the spiritual path. And today is Mohini Ekadashi. Geeta Pariwar is having a special recitation and contemplation session of the 13th, 14th, and 15th adhyayas of the Bhagavad Gita tonight at 9 p.m. IST. Please do attend the session and reap the benefits. And now, time for the questions. And please do raise your hand using the Zoom raise hand option, and so that our technical assistant Nisha Didi will unmute you, and also, if possible, turn on the video as well when you ask the questions, and our Vikas Bhayaji will answer your queries. Thank you. So, any questions? So I think Vikas Bhayaji, you made it so clear, and we could understand with the stories and everything. I think maybe not any questions so far.
You can listen to all the things what we have discussed today, and if you have any questions, you can ask in the next session.
Yeah. Okay.
You can do your own thinking and ask your questions in the next session.
So Anjaneyalu Bhayaji, you have a question? We see your hand raised. Bhayaji, you can unmute and ask your question, Bhayaji. Jai Shri Krishna, can you hear us, Anjaneyalu Bhayaji? Yeah.
Could you please repeat those two gunas, vikalpa, some 2-3 words you explained in the beginning? I could not clearly follow. Could you kindly re-explain?
No. Yeah, first flaw that we have is mala. Mala means the dirt, the kamanas, lust, desires, which are accumulated in our samskar, in our subconscious mind, and accumulation has come through in last so many lives that we have lived. This is not only life that we have lived now. So we have been living these lives for many years, and every life we have been accumulating this dirt in our subconscious. So that is our mala. Another is vikshepa. Vikshepa is the anxiety. In our mind, we always keep thinking, I should do this or I should do that. What will give you more benefit? Most of the vikshepa that comes in our mind, the anxiety that comes in our mind, is because of our materialistic desires. I should get this desire fulfilled, which is the best way to get more money, which is the best way to acquire a new car, or which is the best way to get a promotion or an increment from my boss. So all the things that anxiety that appears in our mind, that is called vikshepa. And third is avarana. Avarana is the cover, the veil or the parda, what we call it. The ignorance, that means. The ignorance. So mala, vikshep and avarana. Avarana is the ignorance. Our gyan, we have the gyan. Our self, it has the gyan, because if the self is a fragment of Paramatma, isn't it? So it has the gyan. Being a fragment of Paramatma, it has the gyan, but it is covered. Avaran. With the help of Gita, avaran. Avaran is the cover, is the parda. We are trying to lift that parda with the knowledge from Bhagavad Gita, so that our self comes into being and it starts guiding us on the path of spirituality. So mala, vikshep and avaran. These three flaws. Arjuna did not have mala and vikshep, but he had the ignorance. He had the avaran. And Bhagavad Gita is said by Lord Krishna to him only to lift that veil of ignorance.
Mal is samskara or vasana. Is it the same?
Samskara vasana, yes. Our samskara vasana are accumulated from last so many lives. Okay. And that is the mala that we are carrying it from birth to birth, from life to life. So this is an opportunity for us to cleanse all that in this life by learning and applying Bhagavad Gita principles in our day-to-day life, that we cleanse our samskars of past lives and then try to acquire this Raja Vidya to get liberation, to get salvation.
By doing karmas in this lifetime, we will be cleansing. We should try to cleanse our samskars.
Exactly.
To reach God.
Right.
Thank you.
Indra Mohan Bhayaji, you have a question. You can unmute and ask the question, Bhayaji. Indra Mohan Bhayaji, you are on mute. Can you please unmute and ask? Yeah.
Yes, I am unmuted now.
Yeah. Yes.
So the Lord Krishna says that that I am not existing in the beings, but all the beings are existing in me. So those two slokas, I think these are same in 8 slokas, where the Lord says that all the beings are existing in, but I am not existing in them.
Yeah. See,
so just please explain.
So this may appear to be contradictory statements from Lord Shri Krishna, but they are not.
Yes.
When he says when he says that they are in me, but I am not in them.
Right, sir.
Okay. If Lord Krishna was with us, if the Paramatma was in us, then we would also become Amar like him. We would never die.
Yes.
Because the Paramatma is, isn't it? So the fact that he is not in us is true.
Yes.
At the same time, when he says that they are not in me, is also true. Because if we were in Paramatma, then we will never die. Because Paramatma never dies. No anxiety, no kamana, no krodh will come to in our mind. Because Paramatma is far away from all this vikar. What we have in our mind. Now when Paramatma is vikarless, no vikar in Paramatma, no birth and death for Paramatma, And if we are in Paramatma, then we would also become like him without birth and death. But are we like that? We are not. So we are not in him. So both the statements are true, but our existence is because of his proximity. Like the example given by Paramatma only about the wind in the sky. The wind in the sky exists because of the sky, merely because of existence of sky.
Right, we exist because of them, because of him.
So our existence is because of Paramatma's proximity.
Right.
That's the only meaning of these two slokas.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Lot of thanks.
Thank you. Any more questions? Otherwise, we will move on to the. Oh, okay. Ajit Bhayaji. Jai Shri Krishna, you can unmute and ask the question. Ajit Bhayaji, can you hear us? You can unmute and ask the question, Bhayaji. If possible, you can turn on the video also. Yeah, optional.
Jai Shri Krishna, Didi. Jai Shri Krishna, Bhayaji.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Because I have started the L2 group now, but the thing is that unless and until we understand the complete meaning of individual shlokas, so and every time, sometimes what happens, sir, we can't again approach you for meaning. So will you please suggest us some book which gives us complete meaning of individual shlokas?
There are many books available. There is one book by R.R. Verma. There is another book. If you want to see a book in Marathi, then from Shankar Abhyankar, Mr. Shankar Abhyankar, he has wonderful books.
Sir, please.
It comes in 2 volumes from Mr. Shankar Abhyankar. The book Shankar Abhyankar. It comes in 2 volumes. In English, there is a book by R.R. Verma also. There are plenty of books. You see on Amazon, you will see plenty of books.
Because they have their own way of interpretation, but it should be simple also. That's why I asked this.
See, that's why what I do normally is I try to go through all Hindi, Marathi, English books, whatever I can go through, and try to put that in my own common man words. Because if you go through the books use some such language which you get bored, honestly.
Sir, I have basically I am from Kannada medium, but my mother tongue is Marathi. And now I have recently entered L2 level. So just out of interest, I have asked you this question.
That is the reason that Geeta Pariwar is conducting these Vivechan Satras on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, and in all both the languages, Hindi and English. So in any language, wherever you are comfortable, you can attend to this, or you can watch it again on YouTube, because everything is available on YouTube.
Yes, yes.
If you want to listen it again, you can again go to YouTube. And as the message has been put now, that another book that is in Hindi available is that Sadhu Chintan something.
So this Abhyankar book is available on Amazon?
Yeah. All books are available on Amazon. And books are available on Geeta Press also. Geeta Press online also available. Yeah.
And they say that the book by in English, which was translated by Annie Besant, to what extent it will be simple to understand?
Not really. Try to go through the books by some Indian author.
Yeah.
Because we understand our philosophy, our sanskar, our mythology better than anybody else.
Yes.
Try to go through the books by some Indian author rather than going through some European or American author.
Yes, Bhayaji. Jai Shri Krishna, Bhayaji. Jai Shri Krishna, Didi.
Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you. Just a quick addition to that, in case if you're interested, Geeta, as Vikas Bhayaji mentioned, Geeta Gorakhpur has the book, many books, especially the Sadhaka Sanjeevini, that is available in many languages. So if you're interested, you can make that as supplement book to pursue the sadhana as well.
Right.
Okay. Thank you. And before we conclude the session, oh, sorry, I didn't ask any other questions from the sadhakas. Otherwise, we will move on. Okay. So let us thank the Almighty for making this session so successful. Now we have Suman Jhawarji with us to do the prarthana. Sumanji is a homemaker from Hyderabad. She is associated with Geeta Pariwar since 2019. She is doing seva as a technical assistant, and she has completed all 4 levels of Geeta learning. I request Suman Didi to do the prarthana. Jai Shri Krishna, Suman Didi.
Jai Shri Krishna Didi. Yogesham Satchidanandam Vasudevam Prajapriyam Dharma Samstapakam Virang Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum Shri Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum. Jai Shri Krishna.
Shri Krishna. Thank you, Suman Didi, for the beautiful prayer. Before we conclude, I would like to thank everybody, our Vikas Bhayaji and all the Geeta Sadhakas for making this session so interesting and interactive. And our techno star of the day, Nishaji and Santoshji, and our technical team and all the Geeta trainers, mentors, sevis, and devotees who attended this session. Please do continue your Geeta Sadhana and attend these interpretation sessions to enrich the spiritual knowledge. May Śrīmad-Bhagavadgītā be our life guide. And let us recite the Hanuman Chalisa now. Seek the blessings of Lord Hanumanji. Shri Krishna.
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारि बरनउ रघुबर बिमल जसु जो दायक फलचारि बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश विकार जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजय कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजय शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबेको आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबेको रसिया राम लखन सीता मन वसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सिंहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर सहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हर्षि उर लाए रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरत ही समभाई सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावै अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावै सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा जम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाते तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपद दीना तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना जुग सहस्र योजन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानू प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाहि दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुमरे तेते राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना आपन तेज समारो आपै तीनों लोक हाकते कापै भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवै महावीर जब नाम सुनावै नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावै मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावै सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा जिनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावै सोई अमित जीवन फल पावै चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धि नो निधि के दाता असबर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावै जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावै अंत काल रघुवर पुर जाई जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई और देवता चित्तन धरई हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई संकट कटई मिटई सब पीरा जो सुमिरै हनुमत बलबीरा जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई जो यह पढ़ हनुमान चालीसा होय सिद्धि साखी गौरी सा तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा पवन तनय संकट हरन मंगल मूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुर भूप सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय।
Deep, please unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Deep, please unmute.
Yes. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Hanuman, Jai Shri Ram. Sarve Janaha Sukhino Bhavantu, Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Wishing you all a very happy and blessed week ahead. Thank you. Jai Shri Krishna.
Deep, please continue.
Yeah. Anything else, Nisha Didi?
Deep, please continue.
Yes. Jai Shri Krishna. We have concluded the session. Thank you everybody for attending the session. And please do continue your sadhana. And we look forward to seeing you again with the next Vivechan session. Dhanyavadaha. Jai Shri Krishna.
Deep, please continue.
Hari Sharanam, 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 Hari
बने हम हिंद के योगी धरेंगे ध्यान भारत का
बने हम हिंद के योगी धरेंगे ध्यान भारत का
बने हम हिंद के योगी धरेंगे ध्यान भारत का कर धर्म का झंडा करे उत्थान भारत का
धर्म का झंडा करे उत्थान भारत का
बने हम हिंद के योगी धरेंगे ध्यान भारत का
बने हम हिंद के योगी धरेंगे ध्यान भारत का
गले